Massive stigma around divorce back then. I would highly doubt it had anything to do with the fact they used to talk it out. No, it was what the man says, and you can't do nothing because I've slept with you, you're no longer a virgin, and no one's going to want you because you're a divorcee that's not a virgin anymore. What's going on, people, and welcome to another episode of the Gramcast. Back with another one, back to consistency. I need everybody to subscribe, of course, as you all know. You know, send this to all your people, anyone that you feel like can benefit from it or might be in this situation, or, you know, just spends a lot of time on YouTube. Send it to them. Hey, watch this. Let me know your thoughts. Let's hit 100 likes on this. You know, if you give me 100 likes, I'll put out another public video. Yeah, that's the deal. Let's go. Let's get straight into the video though. So as you guys know, I do a lot of Instagram lives. I post a lot of stuff on my story, you know, and I've been getting a question lately quite a lot from people. Why do you think, Grams, relationships nowadays don't work? And there's so many reasons. But I feel like fundamentally there's two that I've either experienced, seen, or been told by dozens and dozens of people. And they are communication and restrictions. So we're going to elaborate on each point. Let's start with communication. And it's not actually necessarily even relationships, even talking stages. Just awful due to poor communication. Communication is the most important thing from the minute you start speaking to someone to the minute that you don't speak to them ever again, or get with them, get married, and you die together. Communication is number one. People just don't communicate nowadays. It's just as simple as that. They spend majority of their time being angry or upset about a situation, and you've achieved absolutely nothing from that apart from making yourself feel like shit because you don't want to speak to the person that's the cause of that. You know, you don't want to speak to them about it. How do you expect a situation to get sorted out if you don't speak about it? I just don't understand the common sense around that. A lot of women that I've experienced, they have this thing where a man needs to know when you're upset. And look, I understand all of this. I get what you're saying, but get out of that habit. Please, get out of that habit. I'll give you an example. If I'm in a relationship and I say, babe, what's wrong? And you say nothing, that means nothing. I'm sorry. And I know that nothing actually means everything. But the point of communication, right, is to be transparent with each other. And if I ask you, babe, what's wrong? And you say nothing, then it's nothing. I'm not a mind reader. I expect you to communicate with me, you know. And I understand women need that bit of a push, like, oh, babe, nah, tell me. Come on, tell me what's wrong. Like, you're acting off. And she's like, well, okay. No, just no. Babe, what's wrong? Talk to me. Okay, this is what's wrong. Boom, 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 boom. And we talk about it. Not, what's wrong? Nothing. Oh, okay, yeah, no worries. See, this is what I mean about you. I just asked you. At the end of the day, you can sit there and say to me, yeah, but Grams, you know, you can kind of tell with your girl. Or Grams, you should push it a bit more. Bro, listen, I'm in this to get married. I haven't got time for the bullshit. If you're upset and I ask you what's wrong, babe, just tell me what's wrong so we can sort it out. If it's something that I've done or something that I haven't done, talk to me and let's sort it out and keep it stepping. I don't want none of that nonsense. Yeah. And you know, as I was saying earlier, even with the talking stage aspect, it's just like people just don't talk about things. Like when people go on dates nowadays, what on God's green earth do they talk about? I'm so curious because when I go on a date, I'm trying to find stuff out about you. You know, oh, what'd you do? Oh, what are you looking to do in 5? Oh, really? You work there? Oh, that's good. Like, is that where you see yourself in 5 years' time, or do you see yourself owning your own company? Oh, really? That's crazy. Yeah, that's honestly, man, good luck with that. That's honestly, it's something that I really think that you can do. It seems like you really got your head stuck on, and that's hard to find nowadays. Little things like this. Yeah, I'm just freestyling, but in the moment, of course, it's going to be different. But I'm trying to find out stuff about you, man. But all people seem like they're doing nowadays is dashboards. Oh yeah. Oh prawns. Yeah, prawns. Gotta get the prawns on Insta. Come on, prawns. Yeah. Oh, Mercedes. Yeah, yeah. Banging. I need to make sure I don't get him in here though, because people can't know that I'm with a guy. Actually, he's wearing a Rolex. Maybe I'll just do one of those boomerangs where it kind of catches his watch a little bit, so people can see that I'm with a guy that dresses quite well and has a bit of money. Now, I'm not saying this is everyone, of course not, but there's countless amounts of this on the internet, ridiculous amount of this on the internet. And you're probably thinking, well, what's that got to do with communication? The issue with it is why are you there? Are you there to tell Instagram and the world that you're on this date that they can't even see? Or are you there to communicate with this person and find stuff out about them? What is of more significance to you? You need to communicate, man. Like, I'll be real, I'm not even trying to have my phone on me when I'm on a date. I'll have my phone bang on the table. Babe, let's talk. Crack some jokes, talk. Try get a vibe of this. Is there any energy in this where it merits a second date? Are we vibes in? Does it seem like it's someone that I can really kick it off with? These things, but it just seems like people don't know why they're there. And yeah, that's basically, without digressing too much into that aspect of it, because I think we'll do something completely separate with that. That's one of the reasons why relationships don't work. It's just poor communication. People just don't talk things out anymore. I've had people say, relationships don't work nowadays because there's so many options. If this don't work, I can always... Yeah, there's an element of that as well. I've heard the typical one, relationships back in the day worked more because they talked it out more, and now people don't talk it out, so they just leave. And it's like, yeah, that sounds absolutely fantastic, but you're forgetting how women used to be treated back then in the majority of cultures, let alone now. Back then there was such a massive... I don't even want to go too deep into this because we're going to do a separate episode of this with some people, but the massive stigma around divorce back then, I would highly doubt it had anything to do with the fact they used to talk it out. No, it was what the man says, and you can't do nothing because I've slept with you, you're no longer a virgin, and no one's going to want you because you're a divorcee that's not a virgin anymore. So she stayed in abusive, depressing marriage because of what people would think and the ramifications if she got out of it to her life. That's just what it is. But as I said, we're not going to go too deep into that right now. Communication is key. Communication is key. You will not, I promise you right now, before we get on to the next point, I promise you right now, your relationship will not go anywhere without communication. Absolute fact. Don't even try and debate it with me. I'll give you thousands of examples in my DMs where poor communication has led to no relationship or no longer a relationship. So communication is key. And it's not always what you say, it's how you say it. That's key as well. So that's the first point. The second point is restrictions. Now you're probably sitting there thinking, what on God's green earth does that even mean? That means that people have placed way too many restrictions on their relationship that cannot be consistently, or even in some cases at all, maintained. Simple as that. And what kills it is a lot of these restrictions actually stem from insecurity and actually stem from stuff that's happened in the past. Now, people that know me know the amount of times that I've said, heal first before going into your new relationship, because you don't want to burden that person with problems that you haven't healed over or stuff that's happened to you. The amount of times I've said that is a joke. But a lot of restrictions actually happen because you've been traumatized, if that's the right word to use, by something that's happened that's emotionally scarred you, and you feel like you need to implement that constantly with every person because it may happen again. Now, understand why you think that way, but not everybody is the same. I've always said, don't paint everyone with that dirty brush. So heal yourself properly and then go into that brand new. Everyone should be given the benefit of every single person, black, white, green, yellow, man, woman, should be given the benefit of the doubt until proven otherwise. Simple as that. I don't care what your ex was like. You've chosen to go into this new situation or this new relationship. Do not paint me with that same dirty brush. Okay, I'm not that person. I understand having your guard up. I get all of that. But there's limitations. There's limits to that. So the whole restrictions thing, it's obviously we've said where I believe it stems from. But no one's going to be able to maintain that. You can't go here, you can't talk to this person, you have to be at home this time, you can't do that, who's this girl, that unfollow this. It's like you're in prison. You may as well be in a relationship jail. And, you'll always get that person that will turn around and say, yeah, but Grams, if you love me and you care about me and you want this to go somewhere, you'll compromise all these things. It's not about whether I can or can't. It's the justification around it. The rationale for why you want me to do these things or not do these things, right, has to make sense. And if you're telling me that I have to unfollow this particular person on Instagram because your ex cheated on you in that way, right, that is not a justification. I'm sorry for anybody watching this that doesn't agree. That is not a justification. It's as simple as that. You can say, Grams, you know what? It makes me feel uncomfortable. I know she's your best friend and she called you at 1 a.m. crying, but it just makes me feel uncomfortable that another female is calling you at that time, when you're with me. And things like that. It just doesn't make me feel comfortable. I understand. Fair enough. Yeah, but, my ex used to go to that dessert place and blah blah blah. It's like, no, please, no, don't compare me to your ex. Yeah, I don't look like the Don, I don't act like the Don, I don't speak like the Don, I sure as hell don't fuck you like him, so please don't compare me to him. It's that simple. But yeah, restrictions, so it's just too much. It's like being in a relationship jail. You've got to compromise all these things that you've done for majority of your life because this person doesn't want you to do it anymore. And when you ask them why, it's like the most dumbest reasons in the world. And what kills it is they'll go and do it. So for instance, like people say, don't go to that shisha lounge, but then they'll be there, as in your boyfriend will be there, will tell you not to go there. It's like, how does that even make sense? You have to have an equal relationship, man. Like a relationship to work, the energy has to be reciprocated. The mentality on these things has to match. Well, it's not going to work. You're just going to argue. It's literally relationship jail, man. I'm telling you. There's like plenty of other things. So many other things that are so restricted in relationships. And a lot of the time is due to the insecurity from past situations or relationships. But you can't go into it with that. Look, it's a simple. Look, let me give you guys the answer. How do you avoid these restrictions? It goes on to what I was talking earlier about people not knowing what they want, right? If you're dating to marry, which is, I hope, what people are dating for, instead of Snapchatting dashboards and his Rolex and the way the sushi looks, actually sit there and speak to the person. Actually ask yourself, why on God's green earth am I here? Am I here to get to know someone or to act rich for Instagram and act popular? And when you actually speak to this person and they say to you, so what'd you get up to? Like on the weekends and stuff. I go out and I get absolutely fat in minging with the girls. Get absolutely fact, right? I don't drink and I don't go clubbing. So for me, that's a red flag. That's a personal red flag for me. I'm not saying it should be a red flag for everybody. It's a personal red flag for me. At the same time, I'm not going to stop a club in the club myself. That's where a lot of the issues come as well. Which is what I was saying earlier. It's about having an equal, like the energy to be reciprocated, things to be equal. If you're going to implement restrictions of any. And it's like, okay, so you drink and you club. Now, that's not to say when she gets into a relationship with me, she's going to do that. But she could. So now the issue is when I'm Snapchatting dashboards and Snapchatting Hakkasan and I'm not paying attention to these red flags, I get into the relationship with this person, fall in love, and now she wants to wear some short skirt with a fanny sticking out and go clubbing and drink alcohol until the early hours, and she doesn't even know where she is, who she is, or how she's getting home. That's my fault. Because anything like that I feel like is going to be, this is basically it. Anything that you feel, if I get with this person, it's going to cause a serious detriment to my relationship, you walk away from that date and you don't see them again. Yeah, but Graham's compromise and relationships about compromise. Okay, clever clogs, that's fine. When you meet someone, you have a criteria. You have a criteria of maybe 6-7 things that you really want in a person, right? Now you're not going to find someone that's going to hit all 6 because no one's perfect. They might hit 4. Those 2 things that they don't hit, you got to ask yourself, are these things worth compromising if they're not willing to? Because sometimes they're not going to be willing to. Depending on what it is, why they do it. It's very circumstantial. But you gotta ask yourself, am I willing to compromise those things? And if you are, go for it. But if you're willing to compromise them, you can never bring it up again. Because you've pushed that to the side now. You've taken that out of your criteria and now you've got to run with it for what it is. But if you feel like, no, those 2 things are way too essential, those are actually some of the most significant things that I want in a person, then you walk away. No matter what Rolex he has or what car he drives or how her fucking bunda looks, doesn't make a difference, mate. You walk away from it because it's going to cause massive issues later on in your relationship. And when you're in love, good luck trying to leave. Good luck when you're emotionally attached and invested trying to leave that relationship when you could have done it when it was first presented to you. Now, I know what some of the girls, I'm going to just finish it up with this here. I know what some of the girls watching this are thinking. Yeah, but Grams, yeah, this guy, he acted like Prince Charming, and then 3 months later, yeah, or 6 months later, he's an absolute bastard. Yes, some guys lie, some guys put on a facade. I understand that. But remember what I said, you got to give people the benefit of the doubt, man. And there's no one that comes into a couple of dates with you or into a talking stage with you before you get into a relationship with them with 0 red flags. It's like, do me a favor. You went colorblind. Those red flags, when you saw his Rolex, those red flags went white. You know what I'm saying? Don't try to fool me. I've seen it. I talk to people every day. I know exactly how this works. So ultimately, to finish up, communication is key. Talk about everything and anything. Be fully transparent and honest, 100% with each other, even if it will hurt them, because at least you know that you told the truth and you were open. Secondly is restrictions. There's too many restrictions. When you meet a person, if their morals, values, and moral compass does not match with yours, I don't even know why you're still there. And at the end of the day, if they're not willing to compromise it, you're not willing to compromise it, and you feel it's going to be a detriment, don't go ahead with it, and you won't run into issues and restrictions and arguments. Simple as that. That's what I believe anyway. Thank you all for watching again. Please remember to comment, like, and subscribe as always. You know, keep up to date with everything that's happening. Follow me on Instagram at itsgrams. And yeah, guys, listen, DM me some ideas that you guys think I should touch up on, or people that you think I should get onto the podcast, or public videos that I'm going to be doing more now with the great weather that we have. Give me some ideas, you know. I will reply. I reply to everybody. And yeah, really hope you enjoyed this episode. Take care, guys. Enjoy the great weather while it lasts, and have a great day.